If you're like me and you own a pellet grill, chances are you're always looking for ways to get more smoke. Today, I'm going to share with you 6 ways to get the most smoke out of your pellet grill. Let's get into it. What's up, barbecue fans? Welcome back to Patio. My name's Jake. You're watching Rum and Cook. Today on the channel, we're talking about pellet grills. We're talking about how to get more smoke flavor into your meat when you're using a pellet grill. And today, I'm going to share with you 6 tips. Tip number 1, you've heard me say it a bunch. However, most people don't give themselves enough time to actually do it. What are we talking about? We're talking about the fact that when you run a pellet grill, the more that you increase that temperature, the cleaner that fire gets and the less amount of smoke you're gonna get. Well, if we're trying to get more smoke flavor in there, we need some smoke to put into our meat to get that flavor, right? So what you do is you start to back down your temperature a little bit. So let's say you're doing some ribs, like I'm doing today, right? We're gonna start at 225 for at least the first hour or so, and what we're going to do is we're just going to let them slowly come up to temperature and suck in all that smoke. If you're doing something like a brisket, and even if ribs, if you got the time, you know, a brisket, something that's a long cook, like you could go at 200, 190 and go for 2, 3, even 4 hours at that low temperature, and just to maximize how much smoke you can get into there. And then, you know, meat only takes up smoke until about 160 or so. You can start to turn that up, right? So you could go 200 for 4 hours, then you could go 225 for 2 hours, and then you could just jump right up to like 250 or 275 and finish that cook off. By then you'd have a ton of smoke flavor in there, and you're gonna get a little bit more than if you just started at 250 or 275. Number 2 is all about your wood pellets, right? This is what gives you your flavor. Goes in your hopper, goes down the auger, goes in the firebox and burns, and that's where all your smoke flavor comes from. If you skimp on your pellets, you're going to skimp on your smoke. There's no way around it, right? Now, a lot of different pellets out there, some of them are not 100% wood, some of them claim to be 100% wood and have some wood filler in them, but they're not nearly as high quality. There is a very, very wide variety of pellets out there. And look, McDonald's, that hamburger is 100% beef. But, you know, there's some leeway. What kind of beef is it, right? 100% wood doesn't mean you're gonna get the best wood possible. And if you're cutting corners, you're gonna end up with poor quality smoke. This is the only thing that can give you smoke flavor, so do not cut corners on this. Now, last year I did a video, I'll link it up here, but what I did is I tried my best, and I actually shot that video 3 or 4 times trying to do it properly. I wanted to be able to come up with a blind taste test where I could back to back pick out the winner. Unfortunately, even when I brought my wife in to try and taste it, we got the top 2 wrong. Now, the bottom 3, picked them apart pretty easily. Difference between 3 and 4, there was a difference, and then 1 and 2 were neck and neck. Every time I would pick one of the others. The other ones never came in the running. Those top 2 were Bear Mountain and Lumberjack. Now, since then, and as part of that video, I actually mentioned that I did approach Bear Mountain to become an ambassador because I liked the product and I wanted to be able to use it and represent it and share it with you guys. I've been using it ever since, and I've been super, super happy with it. Now, there are some other brands out there that make some good pellets as well. Lumberjack, Jealous Double, there's the almond ones. I'm drawing a blank at their name, but lots of people are talking about them. You know, there are some good quality pellets out there. Just have some fun, try some different pellets, see what flavor you like. Everyone's got a different tongue in their mouth with different taste buds, right? So you're all gonna have your own different individual ones that you like, but whatever you do, don't cut corners on your pellets, because you're never gonna get the smoke you're looking for. Number 3, and this one's gonna be controversial, is this gadget right here, otherwise known as a smoke tube. And what you do here is you put pellets in here, all right? Fill it up with pellets, and you take a torch and you light it up, and then you put it in your smoker and it adds more smoke. Now, in full transparency, I was very much against one of these for a long time. I actually have told several people over the years that that was dirty smoke and not to use one. And then, you know, Jerby from Goldie's Barbecue started putting out videos, and he talked about dirty smoke on an offset and how he ran dirty smoke in the beginning and cleaned it up later. And I was like, I mean, Texas Top 50, I mean, it's gotta mean something. So then Jeremy from Mad Scientist Barbecue, he went out there and he did a whole video on it. And, you know, later on he did a full video, and it says, I was wrong. and he talks about clean smoke versus dirty smoke and how he was able to get more smoke into it. So, once that started happening, I was like, all right, maybe I need to change my mind on this a little bit. And that's what I did. And what I started to do is I was doing some testing, and here's the rule of thumb that I came up with for me personally. You can change it however you want. However, this is what I do. I fill this thing up with the same kind of smoke. You can change it up. Maybe if you're doing some oak, you could add some cherry in there. But what I do is I fill this up, I take my torch, I light it, I let it go for about 5 minutes so I get a lot burning in here so it doesn't go out and I can put some smoke in. But my general rule of thumb is no more than 50% of the cook. And if it's a really long cook, I will not go more than 4 hours. So ribs are usually 3.5 to 4 hours. I'll put 2 hours of smoke in them. Brisket or pork butt, I'll go up to 4 hours, and then I get rid of it. In my experience, I've been able to get more smoke flavor in it, and I don't get any bitter accurate because there's so much more in the cook and so much more flavor going in there that it's all clean near the end and it tastes delicious. Number 4 is all about how long smoke will penetrate meat. And the general rule of thumb is that meat will only take on smoke flavor till about 165. So you have, depending on how thick your meat is, relatively a short window to put smoke in your meat. Now, what I typically do is try and maximize that window. So you guys have heard me say it many times. What I'll do is I'll season up my meat and I will actually put it back in the fridge, and so it's nice and cold right before I put it on the smoker, and that way it's as cold as possible. Now, I've actually recently been doing some experiments and taking that to another level. We'll talk about that in an upcoming video. If you're not subscribed and you want to see that, please subscribe below. However, put cold meat on your smoker. The colder the better, and what happens there is now we just have that much more time for that meat to be able to suck up that smoke. Number 5 is all about moisture and having a humid environment inside your cooker. Now, why is this so important? Well, it plays 2 parts. Number 1, if you're getting some crispy edges on your meat, you can spray it and that'll help keep your food moist. But number 2, when you have moisture on top of your meat, it actually attracts more smoke. You can also use a water pan, fill that up with water. You could put beer in this. You could just put water and some onions and herbs and stuff, try to get a little bit more flavor in there. But you want some liquid in there to help keep your cooking chamber moist, and then spray as needed. It just so happens I've got some ribs on here. I've sprayed 2 of them. I'm going to show you the other 4 and just show you what we're looking for. So here we've got 4 racks of rib. Now I sprayed these ones just a couple minutes ago. You can still see some moisture here. This one dried up pretty quick. These ones have not been sprayed. And what I want to show you here is, look at my bark, my rub, whatever's on top of there. It's not moving around. Do not spray before your seasoning and rub tacks up and is dry and you can't move it around, or this spray action will just push that around and ruin your presentation. So this is 50-50 apple cider water and vinegar. You could use just water, you could use some beef broth in there, some Worcestershire sauce, some beer, whatever you want. And now we've got lots of moisture that smoke will adhere to, and we're also cooling down your surface a little bit, so we're buying some more time before we stop sucking in smoke. Before I share with you number 6, we've got to check out the contest winner from last week. Let's look at this week's contest winner. And so the hashtags, this is the chicken wing video that I did on the workhorse. The hashtags were Daytagan Foods and workhorse, of course. So let's see what we got here. Only 14 comments. Lots of people didn't pay attention on that one. Robert Bausch. Those wings looked amazing. I'll definitely be trying these. Hashtag Daytagan Foods. Hashtag workhorse. You, sir, just won yourself a $25 gift card to appbbq.com. I will find your comment. I'll leave my email address, have you email me, and then I'll have you confirm it's you by leaving another comment. Then I'll get that gift card out to you. Let's get back to the video. If you're new here, you're probably wondering what the contest is all about. Here's how you get entered into that. If I do a contest Tuesday to Tuesday videos and Thursday to Thursday videos. So you've got a week. If I miss a week, you've got 2 weeks to get entered in. But it's super simple. All you have to do is you have to be subscribed to the channel, you have to like the video, and you have to leave a comment down below and include 2 unique hashtags per video. In this video, it's going to be hashtag pellet grill, hashtag more smoke. Comment on this video with those below and you'll be automatically entered. All I do is I randomly pick a comment and then I comment on your comment, ask you to email me, we confirm who you are, and then you will get a $25 gift card to atbbq.com. And if you happen to be a Patreon member, even at the $5 level, I'll double it. So there's lots of reasons to be part of the Patreon community. I'm now doing 2 videos a week. That's 8 chances a month. And if you're a member of the Peloton community, I'll double it. So you get a $50 gift card to atbbq.com. Back to number 6. You guys are gonna give me some flack, and you did in the last video that I talked about the 11 secrets to maximize smoke. I'll put that video at the end and I'll put it up here if you want to even dig in deeper. But what I said in there is you've gotta follow the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Salt and pepper are your friend. When you start to get into all these other rubs, you cover up your meat and not as much smoke can penetrate. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm cooking some ribs right now and I've got my favorite rub on them and it is got lots of powders and flavors in there. I'm still gonna get some smoke flavor in there. However, this video is about maximizing your smoke, and when you start to break out some rubs, they have some fine powdering and it just blocks too much of that smoke. If you go with salt and pepper and maybe a couple other little things that don't, drown your meat and rub, you will get more smoke flavor in it. Now, you don't have to follow number 6. However, if you follow the first 5, I guarantee you're gonna start to turn out some better food on your pellet grill. With all that being said, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.